Whoops. Okay. Okay, get focused. You know what? Oh, uh, uh. I'll rock with y'all for a minute. Uh, okay. Uh, uh. All right. I need to get focused. Yo, somebody asked me last night, what do okay? They said, after my Derrick Rose spiel that I put up, they were like, well, do players still get paid when they're injured? And the answer is yes, they do. You got to understand the players have a little under the weather, little under the weather. The players have contracts. It's like a union. You know what I mean? I think it actually is a union. You know, just like Screen Actors Guild, just like any other union, they're protected if something happens to them. And another thing is companies have insurance. So teams have insurance. As in the team owner, has insurance on the players. Now they also have clauses that stipulate when a player is not going to get paid and when they are. Okay, in this case, we got Joe Quinoa, who has been fined for using whatever drug it is. I did a video on that already. Nonetheless, being that he's been fined, he doesn't get paid for 20 games. Now, the thing that's unique about his case is, for one, that's going to take him in the next year. So 10 games in the next year, he doesn't get paid for. His contract is $75 million. Nonetheless, he was injured before that. So he was getting paid although he was injured. You see what I mean? So in the clause, he gets paid. A little under the weather. So he gets paid because he was injured, according to the union. But when he became under investigation for whatever supplements he was using, boom, according to the clause, you don't get paid for that while you're under investigation. So the answer is yes, they do get paid. They do get paid when they're on injury reserves. Now, of course, you got situations with when we're looking at Derrick Rose's situation. Derrick Rose has a chance of being. I mean, he's an exceptional player. He made MVP. He's a great player. But there's no doubt in my mind that coaches are looking at the fact that he's not accident prone. He's not like Schleprock or something. Well, I guess he is like Schleprock. He's just always injured. He's good when he's good, but when he's not, it's all bad. You know what I'm saying? When he's hurt, it's like we're paying this guy these millions of dollars, for nothing. He's hurt, he can't play. But here's the thing about that. Okay, so you have a guy who's MVP. You have Derrick Rose. He was MVP before. He's an exceptional player. He was having a good year this year. Here's the thing about being injured and being on any team in any sport. If you are an elite player like Rose, the coaching staff, the owners, they're always going to hang on to that and say, well, this dude was dynamite when he's on the floor. So, and we paid so much for him. They're always looking at that. And they're going, well, if we cut him, then we still have to pay him so much. This was the big deal that was going on with baseball, where a lot of these players were Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter is a prime example of being paid but not being played. In other words, he's playing the system, if you ask me. G-Shock. So basically, he get injured, and he was still owed this colossal amount of money. But nonetheless, when he would come back for a short time, he drew so many fans in because he was playing. So many people wanted to see his excellent playing ability that it just overshadowed the fact that this guy keeps getting injured. Now let's just say that he was an average player. He was good, but he was average. You know what I'm saying? You're good enough to be in the game, but you're not the big ticket drawer. You're not that dude. So let's just say that he's, he comes in, he plays, and this is with any sport. So let's just say it's not Derek Jeter, but it's somebody who we don't know, or Derrick Rose, or who we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Just somebody that's on the team. They're good enough to be on there, but say they're like the 10th man or something like that. I don't know. You guys know what I'm saying. That person keeps getting hurt. You're going to see them traded or gone real quick. So there is pros and cons to a person getting hurt and what you want to do with them, because you still have to stay under the salary cap. So you got to realize that. This is why you see a lot of people become free agents after 2 or 3 years. Because teams are just like, this guy's accident prone, but he's good when he's good. We only want to keep him around for 2 years. If he stays healthy, boom, we'll sign him on for another two years. Here's the thing about that, though. Say Rose comes back. He has a torn meniscus, so he has to go through surgery. Say Rose comes back in 6 months. I don't know how long it takes. I'm not a doctor. But say he comes back in 6 months. Say he comes back next year, gets on, he plays for a whole season. Lights it up. I mean, he's in the running for the MVP. He tears it up. He takes his team to, some playoff games. Next thing you know, the Knicks are like the team to beat. They're going around beating everybody. You know what I'm saying? They get to the playoffs and they lose in the final 8. You know what I'm saying? You lose in the final 8, you look like there's a team from Canada that lost against Cleveland last year. Let's say that they get that close. They play against Cleveland, boom, they lose. Toronto Raptors. So they lose against Cleveland. Nonetheless, his stats have carried him into the next season. Next season, he comes back, boom, he gets hurt again. It's a meniscus on the other foot, or it's an iliotibial band, or or it's something that happens, and boom, he's out for a full season. The conversation is, do we get rid of him, being that he has a history of getting hurt, but nonetheless, he just took us to one more round, and we would have been in a championship game. See, that conversation happens around Derrick Rose. Just because he's so good. Now, he hasn't taken the Bulls that far, as far as I know, but nonetheless, it's the potential that Derrick Rose has. So you look at any player in any sports, and you look at the potential they have and the money that they bring in, because people want to see them. If he's selling tickets, they might just keep. Listen, it wouldn't surprise me, even though a team has a cap. Listen to this. It wouldn't surprise me if a team kept a player like KD. KD just retired. 30-something years old, knees shot. But KD retired himself. I mean, think about that. KD decided to retire himself, and he got offers for other teams to play. But KD was like, nah, I'm done. I mean, just think, he took himself out of the game. They paid him so much, boom, He was like, I'm done. Because they still owed him. I mean, so just think about that. For one, they freed up a lot on the salary cap. So it's on the salary cap of the team. But two, you got to think about that. Like, KD wasn't even playing that much. So it wouldn't surprise me if they kept a player around who sells big tickets but doesn't hardly play for the money alone. Screw the fact that they're not on the court that much. Just the fact that their face is on the bench. Everybody knows this already before they buy the tickets. And this person is signing mad autographs after the game. Like this is it. Like this is what they decided to do since they can't play because of an honest injury. They're like, you know what? I'm injured, or my knees are shot. It's at the end of my, it's at the end of my race, pretty much. What I'm gonna do is, I'll stay on under a 1-year contract every year. For a not necessarily a minimal amount, because they're still bringing in those tickets, so it wouldn't be a minimal amount. This is somebody who draws tickets. And the team would probably be like, okay, because you're not hurting our salary cap, because it's not a colossal amount. It's not a LeBron James $24 million a year amount. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, you guys know where I'm going with this. It's your boy Tone 202, the NBA's